His Majesty's Prison, Frankland in County Durham. Manchester bomber Hashem Abedi doused 3 prison officers in hot oil and then slashed them with a pair of makeshift blades of knives that he'd made, fashioned them out of a baking tray. Now, former prison officers, experts in the area, are saying that the leniency and the laxity of the conditions that we keep Islamic terrorists in, our extreme Islamic terrorists like Abedi, is madness. So these people, there are only 2 separation units in the entire country for Islamic extremist terrorists like him, Abedi. Frankland is one of them. Now, this small group of Abedi and his terrorist mates, they had their own TV room, they played CDs, they had games consoles, access to their own kitchen area, and that's the big deal. That was where Abedi was able to source cooking oil, which he boiled up and threw at the officers, and he fashioned these stab knives out of a baking tray. A former warden called Neil Samworth said, the way these dangerous people are being managed is utter madness. And people are saying that people like Abedi should just be locked up, solitary confinement 23 hours a day. Don't let them anywhere near anyone else. These are inveterately dangerous people. It's ludicrous what happened in Frankland over the weekend, isn't it?
It's absolutely awful to comprehend it. And first of all, people will at this point say, well, our hearts go out to the prison officers, but they really do. These are people that do a pretty thankless job some of the time at keeping some of the most disgusting scumbags locked away, and they shouldn't be put into a position where these scumbags are able to get a hold of any of this kind of stuff. Secondly, I think, frankly, for somebody like this, there is no way this person is ever going to be rehabilitated. I think there should be a very sober, non-flashy conversation about the reintroduction of capital punishment for somebody like this. There is no hope of redemption for someone like him, I'm afraid. It hurts me to say that during Holy Week. But what horrible crime really radicalized this lad? That's right. The United Kingdom took his parents in as asylum seekers and as refugees. How dare we have done that? And this is a problem that we're seeing over and over again, that the West is letting people in with open arms, and they turn around literally and stab them and kill them and throw burning hot oil at them. And these are the people that we've currently got in prison. And the security services, not to scare everybody, but the security services, MI5, GCHQ, these sorts of people, incredible heroes. We'll never know their names. We'll never know what deeds they do to keep us safe. But we do know they've got another 50,000 people on their watch list, the vast majority of whom are Islamist extremists. 50,000 people. People close their eyes and imagine for a second something like Anfield, the Liverpool Football Club stadium. That's bigger than the capacity, I think, of Anfield. Imagine every single seat there was filled up with some evil scumbag who hates the West, who hates everybody listening and watching this, wants to kill you in the most painful ways possible based on some evil, twisted ideology. We've got these people who are roaming free. We've got these people in our prisons. We've got these people coming on small boats, hanging around outside primary schools, committing the most obscene crimes. We need to wake up before law and order really falls apart here.
Absolutely. And you wonder what was going through Abedi's mind. I mean, you can tell this guy is an incredibly sick individual. What on earth did he gain by maiming these poor 3 prison officers? What did he gain? Nothing. So he's a twisted individual, and I'm with you. I mean, I'm sort of quite diffident on the death penalty, but I don't see why we waste our money keeping pieces of scum like this alive. But if we must, stick him in solitary confinement 23 hours a day so he can learn the meaning of the word punishment, so he doesn't have his own TV and his own kitchen and his own games console. I mean, it's just ludicrous the way these people are being treated. And we've talked often, James, about, the problems with our prisons generally. I mean, they are lawless zones, often now described as warehouses, where you just take people off the streets and basically let them get on with it, taking drugs, having parties. As long as they're behind bars, we'll leave it at that. And the overstretched wardens, the prison officers, just turn a blind eye. We've got problems there. But Robert Jenrick, the shadow Justice Secretary, has tweeted, this is incredible, that, for example, at His Majesty's Prison at Whitemoor, Nick, 45% of the inmates identify as Muslim, the vast majority of whom have converted while they're in prison. And apparently, according to Jenrick and the gang, Muslim gangs are going round saying to hapless young prisoners, convert to Islam. And they say, why? Well, convert or you get hurt. 45% in Whitemoor jail are Muslims having converted to Islam while they were inside. This is kind of strange, isn't it?
It's really concerning. I mean, first of all, massive props to Rob Jenrick. I mean, the guy really is, he must be getting backache from holding up so much of his party. He is doing a phenomenal work, phenomenal research, putting pressure on the government. He is the guy who highlighted the overall two-tier policing. He's the guy who's highlighting this. This is what real political leadership looks like. And so people that were skeptical of him, I think, should perhaps go and reassess, because I think he's the real deal. And if we listen to some of his prescriptions for these things, the country would be in a much better place. It's really scary to see these things are happening. And of course, I do believe that the number one purpose of prison is to just lock up these scumbags and keep the rest of us safe from them. That's what El Salvador did. We've talked about El Salvador before, the little Latin American country that was once upon a time, not that long ago, the most dangerous place on earth. And what happened? They elected a guy who came in, who built a great big prison and put all the wrong uns into it. And suddenly, safest place in the Western Hemisphere, safer than a lot of European countries as well. It's not that complicated. I'm talking to you now from Dubai Airport, right? These guys know what it means to keep law and order. It's one of the safest cities in the world because they've got actually effective deterrence. And by the way, although this is a Muslim country, they proscribe all kinds of horrendous organizations because they see them as Islamist extremists that we don't do. We don't ban the Muslim Brotherhood. Here, they do. Do you have any crimes going on here? No, none at all. Do people feel safe walking the streets of London, let alone in prisons in the UK? No, they don't. What kind of conclusions are we going to draw from this before it's too late? We've got to get serious on this stuff.
Yeah, and this Muslim problem in jail seems to be becoming very pressing. The word is that a notorious hate preacher, Anjem Chowdhury, is the one that coerced Adibi into doing what he did. And subsequent to that horror at the weekend, Chowdhury has been moved out of this prison, of Frankland prison, to another penitentiary. But this Muslim thing inside prison is something that I think the government should address.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And here's a fun fact for you as a side note, by the way. Anjem Chowdhury once told me on Twitter that I was going to burn in hellfire, which, coming from a man like him, I take as an extremely big compliment. But you find that if we've got, on one side, we've got this very serious issue. I just mentioned 50,000 people on that MI5 watch list. That's the people they know about. That's the people that they say we, the security service, need to keep an eye on, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how many more bad guys there might be, how many more bad guys that are coming into the country. At the same time, our previous story was about the sort of elimination of what the native population thinks about Christianity or lots of other things. And we talked about West Yorkshire police saying white people aren't allowed to be police officers, at the same time that we're also allowing all kinds of other wrong-uns not to be deported on spurious grounds. This has led a lot of serious academic thinkers, people who've studied civil wars in Africa and other parts around the world, to suggest that the conditions are getting pretty darn perfect for civil conflict to start happening in the United Kingdom. Yes. I don't want that to happen. I want the police, I want the government to get serious on this kind of stuff before horrors like that start to happen. But it's starting to scare me.
They've got to, James. James, good to talk to you in Dubai. I was wondering what that was in the background. I thought his domestic decorations are very formal. Good to talk.